Did you watch The Walking Dead last week? It was probably the most brutal hour of television I've ever seen. I felt sick and dirty all over afterwards. I barely slept that night. It was great.
No, I don't watch The Walking Dead. I prefer to trigger my peak TV shocking character death anxiety with Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones barely ever violently and gratuitously murders characters I love. I haven't felt emotionally distraught over Game of Thrones since season 3.
Game of Thrones has consistently broken my heart, crushed my soul, and gouged out the eyes of my optimism for 6 years. Watching it has shaved off a few years, actually probably a decade of my life.
How many of your favorite characters does Game of Thrones torture and murder every episode?
3.2.
Well, there you go. The Walking Dead slaughters droves and droves of my favorite characters, and my reactions to those deaths are not overblown in any way, ever.
But The Walking Dead airs on basic cable. None of the sadism it relishes can match the sadism with added nudity and cuss words that Game of Thrones relishes. It's just so much more fulfilling in a despairing way when a naked woman yells the F word right before she gets hacked to pieces by a sword on TV.
Brutalizing your audience week after week over and over, it isn't about nudies and cussers. It's about tapping into the key reason an audience enjoys being emotionally mauled. We all secretly wish our lives were that messed up.
Wow, that makes sense. I guess part of the reason I love Game of Thrones so much is because I could picture myself fitting in surprisingly comfortable in Westeros.
I think I'd fit in just swell with The Walking Dead and the post-apocalyptic backwoods.
You know, I kind of always imagine myself as a Ramsay Bolton or a Hound, just cutting down fools left and right, handing out shocking character deaths like flyers for a show my buddy's band is playing in.
I can so easily imagine myself as Negan, just beating fan-favorite characters to death with a baseball bat covered in barbed wire and sleeping just fine at night.
Man, TV's great.